Hi, sweet friends, welcome back. If you're new here, hello, my name is Amy and welcome. Today we are headed out onto our front porch to clean and decorate it for early fall. Now this year, instead of just starting with pumpkins and pumpkins galore, I'm transitioning a little bit more slow from summer into fall. And the reason I'm doing this is because I don't decorate for Halloween. And so I have a time period where everything stays the same. And if you know me, I like to switch up the decor. So later in September, early October, we'll come back through and add tons of pumpkins, brighter florals for that harvest feel that is perfect for Thanksgiving. I hope that this is helpful if you're trying to transition a little bit more slow this year and that you enjoy it. All right, well, let's go ahead, head outside, and get started. This is how our front porch currently looks this morning. This past week, the temps have finally dipped just a little, and Nyla has been soaking it all in. She's been perched right here on the couch, which means we've got a good bit of hair and those little footprints all over the center cushion. So we'll remove those, get them in the laundry, and they'll be nice and clean later today. We also had a brand new roof put on this summer, so the porch has been sprinkled with shingle dust and dust in general. And of course, those pesky cobwebs have popped up in all the corners, so we've definitely got a little maintenance to do before we can bring in all that cozy early fall feeling. We'll first start out today by removing the one solo plant that's still hanging on and clear away the rest of the summer decor so that we have a fresh base to work with. Needless to say, after that whirlwind weekend of Elaine and Asher's wedding and Nyla's surgery, the hanging plants didn't survive. However, later in today's video, that purple plant will be making a little comeback with a fun fall twist you won't want to miss, so be sure to stick around for that. Today, I'm also going to do a little rug care. To keep them looking their best, I like to roll them up, rotate their positions so that they fade and wear evenly. These rugs are already 4 or 5 years old, and they are still holding up really nice. I'll try to have all of the furniture, rugs, decor that I used today linked down below just in case you're interested. Every season, I like to give my front door a good wipe down with a seasonal scent. I always reach for Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose cleaner, and today I'm using the apple cider scent. Oh my word, it is so good and it's one of my absolute favorites for fall. What I really love is that when the sun warms the door, the heat activates the fragrance, and it smells so inviting every time we walk outside. For early fall, instead of going with a traditional wreath, I wanted to try something a little different. If you remember from my last video, I shared this hanging basket I found at Walmart. My idea is to fill it with the rice stems I showed you, along with a few fern stems to create a subtle nod to fall without going full on autumn just yet. When I'm working with faux florals, one tip I always use is I try to bend and spread out each stem. That way nothing looks perfectly straight and it gives the arrangement a more natural, realistic movement. If you are enjoying today's video, I'd appreciate a big thumbs up and maybe even a share over on your socials. And if you are new and like what you see, I would love if you would consider subscribing before you click out. We have lots more fall decorating coming your way, and if you've missed any of my earlier videos, I'll have them linked down below in a fall decorating playlist so you can easily catch up. And even though we're decorating for early fall, I just couldn't resist adding in one faux pumpkin from Hobby Lobby. It looks so realistic, and what can I say? I love my pumpkins. But you'll definitely want to come back later in the season to see how I transform our porch into a full harvest celebration with tons more pumpkins and months. Every season I love finding a beautiful layering rug that complements my color scheme and adds some texture and interest. This one is from the Studio McGee line at Target. For now, I'm just going to bring back my basic welcome mat, but I'll be swapping that out later for something a little bit more fall specific. To the other side of the front door, instead of returning my welcome porch board, I'm going to add a couple of lanterns. I think these are great to display, especially in the fall. They bring that bit of cozy ambient lighting that makes the entrance to the home a little bit more welcoming. The inspiration for the whole porch actually came from this pillow that I found from Walmart. Then, while shopping at Hobby Lobby, I spotted this bowl filler, and it has these cute little pumpkins in the perfect shade of green. You'll see throughout the rest of today's decorating that I tried to scatter that color green here and there to tie everything together and to create a cohesive, coordinated look. Fall is my absolute favorite season to decorate for. I tend to go all out because it just makes my heart so happy. I love finding new ways to use my existing decor, even if that just means moving it to a different room. The porch is no exception. I like to create a fresh look each year, not only for myself, but to share new ideas with you as well. So if you're looking for even more front porch decorating inspiration for fall, I'll go ahead and leave last year's video linked down below. I wanted to give the rockers a fresh new look this season, so I'm bringing in these Tommy Bahama seat cushions to see how they work. They do have a rounded back, but I think that's okay. And they also add a bit of straw-like texture that ties in nicely with the lanterns and helps pull the whole space together. So one thing I did go ahead and get new for this year are the pillows, which I picked up from Walmart. They're such great quality pillows at really affordable prices. These are the lumbar pillows in a beautiful burnt sienna color, full of texture. I love that they have zippers so I can remove the covers for washing or even just reuse the inserts next year and switch out the covers for a fresh new look. At the far end of our sofa, I have a blanket ladder, and to help to tie the two spaces together and to draw your eye down our long, narrow front porch, I picked up the matching garland to the wreath that's under the pumpkin, right next to the front door. Repeating a color or element in your design is super important for creating a cohesive look. This is the third main piece that I'm bringing in to repeat that sage green color. First, it appeared in the stripes on the scatter rug at the front door. Second, in the small pumpkins in the bowl filler, and now again with these vases. You'll also see it show up in a pillow on the sofa, and it's also scattered throughout the greenery on the wreath as well as the garland. A good design rule of thumb is to repeat an element at least 3 times in your space, and that's what I always try to keep in mind when I'm decorating and sourcing my decor pieces. Last but not least, I wanted to share how I'm repurposing the ferns that were beside our front door and the purple potted plant. First, the ferns. I'm using the styrofoam insert and boxwood surround from a flower arrangement I picked up a couple of years ago from Amazon. Then I'll pop each individual fern into the styrofoam ball to create a fresh look. As we get further into the fall, I'll probably swap these out for some seasonal florals or mums. But for now, I'll get these arranged and then hang them on the hooks above the railing on our front porch. And lastly, let's move on to the purple flower that we planted earlier this spring. Since it's still thriving, I didn't want to discard it just yet. It did grow a little one-sided though, probably because of the light. So in that bare spot in the back, I'm going to fill it with some faux florals from the hanging plant. Mixing real and faux flowers together will give it that early fall feel without having to toss out healthy plants or rush into mums that don't last very long. We'll finish up here with the last few shots of our completed early fall front porch. I hope today's video was helpful and that you enjoyed it. As always, I'd like to end our time together by going to God's Word. Today I'll be reading from Psalm 118, verses 6 and 7. The Lord is with me. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? The Lord is with me. He is my helper. I look in triumph on my enemies. Thank you all so much for joining me today and for spending a little bit of your day here with me. I'm really looking forward to sharing more fall decorating ideas with you, and I hope you'll come back to join me. Until then, take care, friends. God bless and happy fall decorating. Bye.